Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much for watching our show, Diplomatic Leaks, from the Pan-African Forum. Today we present, together with Punchline Africa Television, we present a Diplomatic Leaks show on one of the countries in Africa that is facing sanctions imposed on them by the people of the United States of America and the government of the United States of America. It is a great honor for me, therefore, to be here today to say what I've been saying all along. It is a great honor again for me, who has stood from 1997 to date. I've been supporting, opposing sanctions that were put on Zimbabwe. I have done so voluntarily. I have done so in the wake of a lot of threats, intimidation, blackmail, and international push and pull strategies that are done when the truth comes out about some of the countries. Today, as we speak, Zimbabwe lies at the hands of great leadership. The great leadership of President Emerson Mnangagwa has helped quite a lot to bring about changes, the changes that you see in Africa. The changes that you have seen in Africa, in Zimbabwe, in the great country, are as a result of the good leadership that took over from the late President Mugabe. From 2001, the United States of America put sanctions on Zimbabwe. Targeted sanctions or not targeted sanctions, they are sanctions. They all hurt the masses. The isolation of Zimbabwe instead of engagement of Zimbabwe in order to find out what wrong it has done has led to the suffering and the dying, the killings through sanctions. Many people cannot access medicine, essential commodities, food, shelter, and other infrastructural development have been crushed. But Zimbabwe has been resilient all along on this journey. The Western imposed economic sanctions have brought untold suffering to the people of this great nation. The resilient people of Zimbabwe have remained focused in making sure that their country does not become a pariah state. The violent regime change tactics that were deployed by outfits of the United States of America, CIA, operations of George Soros on this great nation called Zimbabwe is what we in Pan-African Forum condemn. Condemn the actions of these NGOs. Condemn the actions of the dark forces. The dark forces that have kept this country bleeding all the time, because they cannot be able to sell their diamonds, they cannot be able to sell their gold, they cannot be able to sell their produce. What a nation! Why has a nation big as half of the world, called America, targeted a small nation in which is not even at the coast of any of the oceans, but inland? Why? These are the reasons why we want to find out today why Zimbabwe sanctions are still there today. Why are these sanctions still there? These sanctions are still there because they hope that one day they will instigate the masses of Zimbabwe to come out in huge numbers in the streets of Harare, Bulawayo, and other cities and rise up against the government that has failed. That failed during Mugabe's days, that will fail during Emerson Mnangagwa's days, and it will fail during any other days. The people of Zimbabwe are resilient people. But the aim behind all this is the destruction of an infrastructure of the liberation movement. Some time back, I told the people when I was giving a lecture in London about the liberation movement, that any country that has got a liberation status movement, like Mozambique, South Africa, Angola, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, the one of Museveni in Uganda, they are already on the target list, on the list targeting to remove their governments. The hatred has gone beyond. The hatred is on liberation movements. The history of liberation of Southern Africa dates back years and years, where Zimbabwe played a bigger role in liberating most of the frontline states, most of the states that you see, Mozambique, most of the states that you see in Angola, in Namibia, in South Africa itself, until it got independence in 1994 from apartheid, where it had a rainbow color for the first time. Therefore, who are the people behind these sanctions? The sanction is the sanctions are mainly conducted, imposed by the American administration. The European Union has scaled down its sanctions on Zimbabwe. It has allowed, and it allows Zimbabwean officials to travel into Europe to seek cooperation, interaction with other agencies that also help other world governments. But today, our main aim is to come out and say, why are sanctions still on the question on this nation called Zimbabwe? Joining me to dissect this, that is my take. You will pick up a few things from there, is none other than Graduate Kiragu, and other people will be joining him. Thank you very much. Kiragu.
Yes, a very good morning to our viewers. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you tuned or you're tuned and listening us from. I'm privileged to be part of the panel this morning.
I believe when Zimbabwe got independence, you are not yet born. So I don't want to take to make you, to burden you with a lot of historical injustices that were committed against the black people of Zimbabwe in those days, where you are not born.
Very true, Doc. I want to be in a class session and learn. I was not born.
Okay, thank you very much. So today, as you see the topic, Zimbabwe is a great country, but Zimbabwe is under siege. It is under siege from a government that has got resources, a government that does not care about people, a government that does not say in America, it doesn't care about other small governments. America does not care about people of Africa, where they die of malaria, where they die of measles, diseases that can be cured by the enough medicines that can be brought. We have a problem in that direction, that these sanctions that are targeted stop Zimbabwe from functioning. Do you agree, therefore, that sanctions targeted or not targeted sanctions, they all create a bad effect on the civilians of that particular nation. Do you agree?
Yes, I do, Doc.
Thank you. So as we move on, we want to take a break and see some of the things, and the studio can bring us some of the things, the achievements that the government of President Mnangagwa has been able to do in the last, since 2017, when he took over power from the late President Robert Mugabe. Let's take a cue on that, please.
We have just sanctioned the Iranian National Bank. Today we are announcing additional sanctions. In a few moments, I'll be signing an executive order imposing hard-hitting sanctions on...
I want to make it categorically clear that sanctions anywhere in the third world, wherever they are applied, whether Venezuela, whether Russia, whether Iran, whether which country in the third world that you apply sanctions, whether Libya, whether Sudan, whether South Sudan, these sanctions hurt the common person. The citizen of that country is always had risks to other international diseases. Sanctions cripple the people of any nation that you put them on. As you know, since the Cold War, the use of sanctions as a soft approach of international policy and diplomacy of the United States has continued to bring a lot of havoc to many African countries. They isolate you, they target you, they demonize you, then later on send the opposition. Is there something that Africa can do to bring about the social transformation that can stop this type of malaise that Americans have put on us?
We welcome the decision by the government to remove sanctions on 2 banks in Zimbabwe. But that is not enough. The entire package of sanctions against Zimbabwe must be removed. The sanctions in Zimbabwe are not playing any useful role. From the American point of view, you are punishing the people of Zimbabwe. You are killing the masses. You have become axis of mass murdering of the people of Zimbabwe. The people of Zimbabwe are being murdered. They are dying because of diseases that they can't treat. Not because they don't have their gold, not because they don't have their diamonds, not because they don't have their minerals, not because they cannot be able to trade, but because you have prohibited them from trading, from utilizing the natural resources given to them by God. I want to call on this day of Eid al-Fitr to call upon, I'm not a Muslim, I'm a Christian, but I pray in the same God that Trump prays. We pray the same God, we respect the same Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, and the others. But we want to stand at this hour in the area of COVID-19 to give a hope, a gleam of hope for the people of Zimbabwe by lifting sanctions. These sanctions are illegal. European Union has removed the sanctions. Why America is stuck on human rights issue? There's no African country, show me one that can qualify, that says it has pure record of good human rights record. Where is it? Human rights in America are also being trampled on. But no country has refused or has come to stop America from trading with us. It is the question of human rights record that made the International Criminal Court to try to indict America. And the American government said, no way, you can't try any of our person.
The United States will use any means necessary to protect our citizens and those of our allies from unjust prosecution by this illegitimate court.
Are the people of America more superior than the people of Zimbabwe who die on these sanctions on a daily basis? We call upon President Trump to completely remove the sanctions against Zimbabwe, allow the country to rebuild its capacity to feed its people, allow the country to access its international trade, allow the country to deliver its people the medicine that is needed in COVID-19 and other emergencies that have befallen Zimbabwe. I rest my case, and I will continue to be doing so on a daily basis. That you listen, I send you this clip, President Trump, to listen to us. I'm not a Zimbabwean, I'm a Ugandan, but I've fought against these sanctions for more than 20 years. Remove the sanctions. Thank you. God bless. Thank you very much, viewers. Since you've seen our track record on talking about these sanctions, and I would like to say diplomatic leaks, would like to say this is where we are, this is how we do it, that is what we shall continue doing. And I just want to thank everybody who has been watching this show. I want to call upon Gladwell Kiragu to issue a few your closing remarks.
Doc, thank you so much. And indeed, I've learned something more so. Still getting educated about the issues, and I hope everybody across, we should always get time to learn more about Africa at large and get to know matters affecting Africa, not only in the state you are, the country you are, and also Africa at large. And that's the issue we are having with most of the Kenyans, because we only concentrate on the Kenyan issue, forgetting that Kenya is one country, but at the end of it all, we are part of Africa. So thank you, Doc, for that information. Indeed, I've learned.
Thank you very much. As we are clocking towards the marathon line, is somebody is trying to join. Have you seen that, someone? We've seen perhaps it should be Saxon from Harare. Do you hear us? We're still trying to connect. I think let's stay a bit, 1 or 2 minutes. The question of, you have seen regime change across Africa, and you have seen what they want to do to most of the countries that refuse. In fact, we in Africa, even Ukraine, it's gone. I think that marks the end of it. Thank you very much. We're done.